I'm recording in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is stupid. Hello. Yes, you listen to the podcast once again. Today we will talk about my club, Aston Villa. Okay, so the first story I wanted to talk about was regarding Aston Villa's interest in Milot Rashica. He plays for Werder Bremen, 24-year-old winger, very talented player. Villa tried to sign him over the summer, but failed to get a deal over the line. Aston Villa have been dealt a blow in their pursuit of Milot Rashica, with Werder Bremen sporting director Frank Bowman insisting he won't be sold. The 24-year-old has been on Villa's radar since the summer, and Die Stube said they could return when the winter transfer window opens. It's likely they'll be met with some resistance, however, as Bowman told Bild, "I would rule out any of our players leaving in the winter." Birmingham Mail revealed in September that Villa triggered Rashica's release clause, but couldn't get the deal over the line as they refused to match the Kosovo's lofty wage demands, which were believed to be around 75 grand a week, equating to nearly £4 million a year. However, that doesn't appear to have scared off the Claret and Blues, as a January approach still looks likely. Rashica's stock has fallen this season, having spent the beginning of the campaign out with a knee injury, while failing to score from his 5 appearances in 2020-2021. So perhaps Villa think he is more attainable now. He's a pretty good player. So in 2019-2020, he scored 11 goals and made 8 assists in 34 games across the board. So he's a talented player. He's got 2 years left on his deal in Germany. We can afford him. He's got a €22.5 million release clause, which we did trigger over the summer, but we need him to lower his wage demands before we'll agree to a deal. Bremen say they won't sell any of their players in January, but I think Villa should test their resolve on that one. Ross Barkley could return from injury to face Wolves. Birmingham Live have given an injury update on Ross Barkley ahead of Aston Villa's meeting with Wolverhampton Wanderers on December the 12th, claiming he could be back in time for the trip to Molineux. The 26-year-old has been out of action with a hamstring injury picked up in Villa's 2-1 defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion, which caused him to miss the defeat at West Ham United on Monday night. Barkley was ruled out for 3 weeks at the time and would have missed Friday's meeting with Newcastle United had the game not been postponed, but he now has more time to recover. The England international has made 9 appearances in all competitions since joining Villa on a season-long loan from Chelsea, scoring 1 goal and supplying 1 assist. Barkley lasted only 5 minutes against Brighton and had to be replaced by Bertrand Traoré. So that's positive news. It remains to be seen whether he'll be fully fit for that game. Dean Smith will no doubt give an update as we get closer to the fixture. Okay, now I wanted to talk about John Terry, because he's been linked with a move to Derby County as manager Philip Cooke was recently sacked as Derby sit bottom of the Championship. Aston Villa assistant manager John Terry is among the favourites to become Derby County's new manager following Philippe Cocu's sacking in mid-November, potentially following in Frank Lampard's footsteps as a former Chelsea player to manage the Rams. The 39-year-old has been assistant to Dean Smith since October 2018 and said at the time of his arrival at Villa Park that he wants to be a manager eventually. Derby County are undergoing a takeover led by Sheikh Khaled buying at Mel Morris, and Terry is believed to be keen on joining the project. The Rams currently sit rock bottom of the Championship with 8 points from 15 games, having won just once all season, but they may spend in January to hold themselves at the foot of the table. It's a risk because Derby are bottom and you wouldn't want a relegation on your CV, especially in your first job as a manager, but he clearly feels that the new owners are going to give some money to strengthen the squad in January, so maybe he's confident that he could get them out of trouble. But he's not the only person interested in the job. Wayne Rooney is interim manager and he's second favourites to get the gig. There's also Steve Cooper, Lee Johnson, David Wagner, Paul Cooke, Sam Allardyce, Eddie Howe, and even John Gregory being linked. I've also seen Rafa Benitez's name, but that would be a surprise to see him take a Championship job. But that's John Terry. It'd be sad to lose him. He helped Villa get promoted to the Premier League in 2019 and played his part in their survival last summer. Douglas Luiz. The Sun recently reported that Fernandinho could leave Manchester City next summer after 8 years at the club, and one player the Sky Blues could sign as a replacement is Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz. The 22-year-old joined Villa on a 4-year deal in July 2019 and has impressed under Dean Smith, but he has a buyback clause which would allow City to bring him back to the Etihad Stadium. According to the Daily Star, it seems likely that they will do so either in January or at the end of the season. Luiz failed to make an appearance in his 2 years at Manchester City, as he had the likes of Fernandinho, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne for competition in midfield. However, he impressed while on loan at Girona, making 46 appearances between 2017 and 2019. City included a £25 million buyback clause in the deal, as they felt Luiz had the potential to become a first-team player in the future. Last season, he averaged a tackle or interception every 32 minutes in the Premier League, so he's a pretty good ball winner, and he's comfortable in possession, and he's been very good for us, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see City bring him back. Rodri isn't winning all the fans over at City, so maybe they will bring in another midfielder if Fernandinho leaves at the end of his contract next year. The final story I want to talk about was regarding Trezeguet. He missed an absolute sitter in the defeat to West Ham, and he's come under a bit of criticism from a former player who you may know. Trezeguet came in for criticism from some Aston Villa supporters for his point-blank miss in the second half of their 2-1 defeat to West Ham. Gabriel Bonlahor was one of them, and believed he should be dropped by Dean Smith as a result. The 26-year-old was set up by Ollie Watkins with a goal gaping, but saw his effort thwarted by Lucas Fabianski. Replays showed Trezeguet's close-range shot wasn't even on target, so his position may be under threat if his goal output doesn't improve. Bonlahor believes Smith should take him out of the team, telling Football Insider, "I said it after the Brighton game on Twitter, and Villa fans weren't happy with my comment about him not being able to finish his dinner, but he showed it again, with an easy chance that he's just got to connect with, and as frustrating as the save was, the actual shot was going wide. In the Premier League, you get punished for not taking easy chances like that. If that ball fell to anyone else but Trezeguet, they would have scored. I just feel his game is a bit erratic. He works hard, but his final ball at times was poor. He makes the wrong decision a lot." Trezeguet joined Villa from Kasimpasa in July 2019 and has gone on to make 51 appearances in all competitions, scoring 7 goals and registering 5 assists. The 26-year-old is fired blanks this season, however, as he is without a goal in 10 games and only has 2 assists from 741 minutes of football. In his 9 Premier League appearances this term, Trezeguet has taken 22 shots and only hit the target on 6 occasions, none of which have found the back of the net. The Egyptian international was signed to provide goals and assists, but Villa aren't getting the best of him right now. Smith has Bertrand Traoré at his disposal, so might he consider a change ahead of the trip to Wolves on the 12th of December? Trezeguet really isn't cutting the mustard right now, so time will tell if Smith is considering Traoré in the fold or not. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for listening to episode 3, and I'll see you in the next one.